I'm here again. It's... Yeah, I know it's a little bit, you are sick of me already, but I will just go to the gloves and make sure they are a little bit like this. And maybe we should... I'm thinking we should make the wrists a bit thinner. And we can do that. Even if we have gloves, and then below we have hands, and then we have nails or whatever, we can always sculpt everything together. It's not a big deal. We can do that. So it's okay. We'll be able to do it at some point. But now we don't need, because we don't need to pose it yet. When we pose it, we can also work on that. Let me see. Okay, we have some stretch polygons here, which I don't like. So if we don't want these stretch polygons, we can do a few things. First, we can Dynamesh, which by the way is not a bad option in this case. Dynameshing this will be fine. So let's Dynamesh. Dynamesh at 40. Let me clarify something. When we have very, very thin things, very thin geometry, sometimes Dynamesh is not the best option. So I will Control Z and I will increase the resolution and Dynamesh it. And now Dynamesh is okay, but we have to smooth a lot. So I will go to one of my brushes, like the standard brush for example, and I will just shift smooth everything. Be careful when you shift smooth very thin areas, because they get thinner. So that's a thing to think about. From this area, I want this to taper down to very thin edge, but first I don't want to have this kind of things or this kind of things. I want it to be kind of flat on the sides, from both sides. And here I'll do this. I don't want waviness. This is something you should be very careful about, waviness. And yeah, mostly about waviness. If your model is wavy in some way, it's not good. It will seems like you haven't put enough time on it. And that's never a good thing. It should look finished. It should look smooth and nice. It's always visible when people know what they do. Or they put enough time on the something. On the something. Yeah, the something is very interesting. Okay, I'm doing this. Something like a crease. Something like a fold here. Why? Because I don't know. I think this is looking nice. This kind of fold. It's not here, but I think it could make it look more realistic. Oh, realistic. Why not? Realistic is fine. Oops. I'm just trying to do something here just for fun, but it's okay. I mean, those wings are looking kind of nice. I will push them a little bit back. We don't want them to be... They have to be, by the way, a little bit closer to the middle of the back. So what to do? Since they are kind of ready, we don't need to do super something very, big on them. We can do this. We can go to our pivot, or it will be pivot of rotation. We can put it in here. Rotate it a little bit. No, let's leave it. Whatever. It's like this. Okay. Now we can click on this. So when I click on this, you know that we can select multiple subtools to rotate or move or whatever. So now we can when we have these 3 lines here, you see 1 line, 3 lines, 1 line, 3 lines. When we have the 3 lines, we can select a couple of things. Now you see what's selected. We can move everything which is full. I mean, it's not like these lines here. So we want to select only the wings. So I will Control Shift drag to be everything to be selected, and then Control Alt drag only on the wings. And you see, now we have this. And now I can rotate them from top, more on the center of the back. And then I can Alt drag my pivot around the size, around the point they are entering the back, and then rotate them a little bit more on the side. This way, and also maybe a little bit like this. This way, this will make them a bit more interesting, I think, those wings. They will not be straight, going straight back. They will be a bit more on the side, kind of like this. Yeah, I think this could work. Now, we can disable this mode. Then we can go and select this color. I think this color will be fine. And select this and just fill it. Just fill it with this color. If not RGB or mRGB or M is selected, it will fill just with the color. Even if RGB is not selected, it will fill with the color. Don't worry about it. So we can make a little bit lighter color, then go with the alpha brush, which is our brush with RGB on only, and just go slightly on this just to see what's happening. Now I want the wings themselves. This would be a little bit difficult, but I don't know why the wings are completely different color than the body. Maybe in the beginning of the wings we should have this kind of a reddish color, and then they should become more like this. Let's try. I mean, it's never a bad idea to try things. You can always go back, or you can always just fill the object with one color and continue. It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's okay. Now, the wings themselves, there will be a different color, this color. But we need to make thickness, because now they don't have any thickness, and thickness will be, I think, good. So let's make extrude all polygroup and make a little thickness. Here we don't have to make a huge thickness. And then we of course have to disable double and flip it. I always flip it because I always make the thickness inward. If I make the thickness outward, I don't need to flip it. So it depends on which direction you extrude. If you extrude inward, you have to flip it then. If you extrude outward, you don't have to flip it, it will be okay. But definitely don't leave the double option on. It will be a pain in the ass if they are flipped. Now, press D, Dynamic Subdivision. Let's go to crease. And the crease level will be 1. Crease it, go to smooth 4. But did I crease it? Oh, I creased it, but it doesn't seem super creased. Ah, it's creased, okay. Alright, it maybe level 2 will be fine. I just go to level 2 and crease. And this, I should crease some things manually. So I need this to be creased here. If I can select it, yes. So crease, edge, crease this edge. Now, I need this to be sharper. Let me see, yeah. Although, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be super sharp. But I need to increase some edges in here because I need this to not be as sharp. So I will alt-click here. Alt-click here. And this is it. I mean, I don't need anymore. This is fine. This is looking great. Now, I can go and with move brush, just move this. Move this. Here, I don't know if we have crease, but even if we have, we need more polygons there because this doesn't look good. So we go to Z modeler brush, we go to an edge, insert and insert one edge loop here to sharpen this, insert one here to sharpen this, and one probably here to sharpen this. I think this is better. I kind of dig that. It's okay. And also, with the big move brush, we need to push this upper part to get inside. Okay, from this point of view, it's looking a little bit different, as you can see, but it's okay. I mean, yeah, here, those things, we can smooth them with the just the smooth brush. Probably it will be better for them just to be smooth. And they will be, when we smooth them, they will start to become the same as the concept. And now I will smooth just this area here, just this. Okay. And if I want, I can, with the big move brush, I can move them a little bit on the side like this. Let me see them from here. Yeah, we have to be able to see them from both sides. Just see, it's not... I don't completely like them. How are they now? I will move a little bit. I will maybe smooth even more. When we smooth them, we make them thin, as I told you. And here, they are not looking super great. But I will smooth them a little bit more even. Yeah, this is just by feeling. I will smooth, I will look. It's doing okay. Now this, I want it to be a color which is closer to this one, so I will select this one basically and just fill, just fill the wing itself with this color. Let's try. Okay, this, I wanted to fill it with this color, which is okay. And then I will select the red one and go to alpha and just add a bit of a reddish tint in the beginning here, a little bit here, just for fun. Then I will go to those ribs or fingers of the wing, I'm not sure. I will select this and I will fill them, and then we will Control D 2 times to subdivide them 2 times. Control D, of course, is giving us subdivisions, which is great. They were kind of good enough in the polygonal, so the polygons were not that badly distributed, so I think it was fine for us to make this. Alright, you see how they have to be sharper like this. It's maybe it could be difficult for you to make it, I'm not sure, but you have to try it. I'm now high polishing just the upper area here, now high polishing the lower area in here. Like this. And hopefully it will be fine at the end. Yeah, the wings now are looking almost like the concept, which is fine. We can do, of course, more things on them. Like this. And here. This should be sharper even. Which is difficult, by the way, to make it sharper. I need to manually go in here and just move this and yeah, manually. If I just smooth it, it's going to be just not so sharp, not as sharp. But this is looking promising. Now let's go to the horse, because we have time. We made the wings like a little bit. Now we can go to the horse, and for example, what we can do on the horse. The horse is okay now, but we need to do more work on the horse. We need to pose it at some point. When you have something that you need to pose, you need to have a low poly version of it, and then subdivisions on top. Now this horse is just this. It doesn't have subdivisions, anything. So we'll do as we did with the body. We will duplicate it, shift click to disable everything but those 2 bodies, and the bottom body, like we selected the bottom, so this is the top body, this is the bottom, they are the same, but we have selected the bottom one. We go to zero mesh it at probably 0.37. let's try zero mesh. I'm worrying about the ears, and we'll see how they will go. If the ears go bad, we can try to increase the target polygon count, and we'll see. But if the ears go okay, no, they are not exactly, they're two less polygons. So let's try around 1.9 thousand. I think it will be better. So now the ears should look finer or better. Yeah, I think this is okay. Now we have the ears, they're better, and everything else is looking good. So now we can start projecting. So go to project here, down, and just don't do anything else but Control D. Make sure only those two have eyes on them, so only those two are visible, even if you have pressed solo just to see the bottom one. The upper one is visible, so the project will project it to this one, to the active one. So Control D to have subdivision and project all. Control D again and project all. And then Control D again and don't project all. Project just twice and then Control D a couple of times. Now it's 1.5 million polygons, which is a lot. But we need to kind of go over the model, fix few things. Just make sure it's okay. Now here the nostrils, you see, they have a sharper connection to the face, if you may say this is a face. So I will try to make that first with the down standard brush, then with the pinch brush. I go, and then I go with the shift, with the smooth, and I hope that this will give us this kind of sharper transition. Yeah, we have to go. At some point we have everything, and now we're detailing a little bit. And we have to go closer to the object, just do some things. And hopefully it will work. In this case it's not working quite well, but I will try to make the nostrils a bit better. They are not looking overall great. Also in the low poly, they are non-existent, which is a little bit of an issue, but not too much, so we are okay. We of course can even go higher in the polygon count, which by the way is not, I don't recommend it. So now, yes, we have some polygons here which are visible, but from here they are not that visible, from far away. From further away they're not as visible. So I advise you to not go too high on your polygon count, because I know some of you are working on laptops, some of you are working on desktops, older desktops. So don't go too high on the polygon count if you want to be able to work on your model. At the end, when you're ready, when you have your pose, when you have everything, you could bump up the polygon count, make some details. Of course, it will start to lag and stuff, although ZBrush is pretty good at not lagging and higher poly counts, but still, it could lag. I've seen ZBrush lag, so it's normal, and I always like to work a little bit lower than I should. Probably. No. I should work on whatever I'm comfortable, and I'm comfortable on lower subdivisions. Now we have 1.5 million polygons on this horse. I'm a little bit concerned when one of my subtools is above 1 million polygons. I don't like it, I just don't. It's just my preference. But in this case, I will make an exception, since this is a pretty complex shape. This is a whole horse, although it's small horse, but it's a horse. So overall, I think this is kind of nice. I mean, it's fine. It's probably fine. So I will smooth here. These ears are looking better than before. And here we have this. Let's jump. Let's make this a little bit sharper with the down standard brush than smooth. Sometimes down standard brush and then smooth is working wonders. Wanderers. Let's see. Now the legs are blue, which is, I'm not sure it's looking perfect, but let's continue with the legs. Of course, we are almost out of time for this video, so we will continue working on the horse, refining the hooves, refining some other parts which need refining, just smoothing them, for example, and then coloring the horse, but we make sure that the horse is looking decent. And then we'll jump to some other item in our inventory. Yeah, the tail of the dragon, by the way, is looking awful still. I remember it. So we have to go there at some point. But first we wait ZBrush to save its file. It's fine. Okay, Control Z. Now I'll smooth here. I like everything to be kind of smoother. If we have these lines from the previous polygons that we have projected, we need to smooth them. It's for the best. Now, of course, in this or any other case which you are making something from a concept, and the concept, and this is your work, this is not for freelance or for work, this is just for your own pleasure and for portfolio, for example, you may change some things. If you think they will be better, or if you think that it will be more fun to make them this way. I've seen people change the night of this absolute beginner ZBrush course that I have, and I've seen pretty original stuff done. So I always encourage people to turn on their artistic nature and just work on the model as they want. For example, the head of our dragon, I made it one head. I mean, if you want, you can make the Godzilla head. If you want, you can make another type of dragon head. You can make even inside the helmet to not be a dragon head, to be some human head. So this could be a human. This is up to you. But when you're doing freelance, it's more difficult to make this kind of your decisions. Yeah, if you're a very good artist, for example, if you become very good artist, of course, you will always be able to suggest some things, and people which knows you and they chose you for the job because they know you're good. Most of the time they will trust your judgment. But this requires a lot of experience, a lot of, design experience, because in order to change a concept, to make something, and for this something to be better and to look better and to fit the need of the client, I prefer to make the concepts as good as close as possible to the client's specifications. I mean the 3D, as close as possible to the concept. So yeah, we have to be careful working from the concept. Let's see, the horse now is starting to look good. I will go to the top horse, which is our old horse, delete it, we don't need it, and then shift click just to show everything, and then remove the solo. And this horse is the same basically. We will of course color the hooves, we will color some other stuff, we'll make it look better. If I want to change the form of the hoof, for example, I want to make it bigger, I can go to my lower subdivision and just do it there. Because on the higher subdivision it will just make it wavy, make the forms wavy, make it more jagged. We don't want that. That's why we have the lower subdivision, to make bigger changes. Also, to be able to pose it, we need the lower subdivisions, and you will see why. To pose it correctly. So again, I will say that it started to look pretty good. And again, I will say, see you in the next video. I always say that, I don't know why. Maybe it's something like a trademark, but I think almost all YouTubers say something like this, or even the same thing. So it's not original, and I don't like it. I don't like non-original things, but what to do? Okay, see you later.